No, it's about this white family who has this fear of this black figure that's in their house. It's about racism.
I thought that was supposed to represent.
It is not about that at all.
It's not about that.
It's not.
It's not.
It would have been if I wrote it.
Please put your hands together and welcome to the stage the eerily talented Dewayne Perkins and the terrifyingly hilarious Katrina Davis. Dewayne,
Yes,
you're a fan of horror movies,
I am.
and you starred in The Blackening.
Yes.
Katrina,
Yes.
you do stand-up comedy, and you've lived in Florida.
Both true.
So you have seen frights.
It's true.
You have both seen terrible frights.
Yes. Yes, I have.
And so we wanted to welcome you with a twist on a Love It or Leave It favorite, reality versus reality TV. Dewayne and Katrina, this is horror versus horror movies.
Oh.
Dewayne, I'm going to ask you your thoughts on the cinematic scares that have terrorized America's silver screens over the past few months. Katrina, I'll ask you about living in Florida. Obviously, both of you can weigh in on either topic. This is my show. What's going to happen? No, you can just do whatever you want.
Great.
There's a touch of format. You know what I mean? For just a chat. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is now in theaters. Here's a little clip.
Did you know this was happening?
Absolutely did. They have a whole universe that they're making.
For those at home, that was an evil humanoid Winnie the Pooh, thirsty for gore, searching for revenge. What's that? Why? Why are they doing this?
Winnie the Pooh as a character just became like fair use and
public domain, I guess.
Public domain, and I think there was like more than one, but the second one was rated a lot higher than the first one, so they're getting better.
So this is what happened. This is really just what happens when you let a trademark lapse, is what you're saying.
Yes, they said why not.
And they're improving, so.
It is actually wild to me that nobody, basically because Steamboat Willie from Disney went into whatever it's called, public domain. And it seems like it is like one of these horror studios should have just been making a Steamboat Willie horror movie and just like had it ready to go.
Yes, I feel like they didn't want to touch it because of the racial implications. It's a weird period that steamboat Mickey was steamboating.
Right. Yeah, I suppose you mean the period being American history.
They were like, black and white. He probably had slaves.
I do feel like that would be like the end of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Just like running around a boat a bunch and just wrap it up. I get it.
I feel like there is one in the making though. I like read about it. I think the plot is about like a boat that people like go on, like a carnival boat, and then like a mouse. A mouse that's like, these people gotta die. Yeah, a mouse with a job. Capitalism. Crazy.
Then there's a little rat operating the chef.
It's like Ratatouille, but for murder instead of cooking.
Speaking of horror, great transition.
Thank you.
According to experts, sawfish in the Florida Keys have been spinning and whirling to death, and no one knows why. That's a sawfish. And they're kind of losing their minds.
Oh, no.
There is no evidence of bacteria or any other illness, nor does it seem like oxygen levels are at issue. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has set up a sawfish hotline for people to call if they see a spinning sawfish. If you are listening at home and you see a whirling sawfish, call 844.
I want to hear
472-9347.
I want to hear the 911 recordings of people just being like, I got one spinning over here so badly. But wildlife, like the orcas are learning new things. Like maybe they're onto something, but it's killing them. Like they're spinning themselves to death.
I think some of them are dying. I think most of them are just kind of fucked up. They're just like, they're just fucked up. But they don't know why.
Like they're from Miami? Like they're just raving? Like they just they dance themselves to death?
Well, that's my question. You've seen people go through this. Assuming you spent time in Florida, there are people that you've seen suddenly begin to spin in ways that don't make sense.
I mean, I've definitely seen some people not spinning so much as like jumping from second story windows, but definitely still putting themselves in danger because they're just not done partying. But I'm interested in this from a animal perspective. Like, I wonder, like you said, there's no nerves or anything. It's not mercury.
No, it's
I wonder
just
what they're
suicide.
doing. Yeah, because
They're
maybe
just down.
I just think they are like, yo, this nose long as shit. I'm out.
Dolphins do it. Like, depending on how smart they are, they could be sentient enough to just want to end it. And if you're gonna pick a way to kill yourself, I probably would pick spinning.
I feel like they just know something.
Yeah.
Just
Then
because that's
again-
an old fish. Like, they've seen a lot of shit. So, like,
Yes, and the moon controls the currents. So maybe the moon has told them something, and they're like, we about to be out before the horror
this is
comes.
gonna get. I'm gonna spin myself out before the water starts boiling.
Yeah,
I'm just
because they
gonna-
know that is a better way out than what's coming.
I will say this. I think the people that think evolution isn't real should spend a little more time on the sawfish because that looks like somebody drew it. That looks made up by a person. That is a stupid looking animal. That looks like a fish somebody thought of at a Home Depot.
You know, and maybe that's why they're ending it all, because of perspectives like that.
Next up, we have the trailer for Hanky Panky, in which Seth Green plays an evil talking hat. That's it. We have a photo of that hat. That hat is the hat that Seth Green plays.
Does it have feathers on both sides? That's the real horror. What is?
Yeah, it's like the very sad uncle of that hat from Harry Potter. Just so the hat kills people.
And it sounds like Seth Green.
Yeah.
See,
Remember Can't Hardly Wait?
That's what I was thinking. He doesn't. Does he have a
I
scary
thought about
voice?
Idle Hand. Did you see that movie?
I did see Idle Hand. And you know what? Here's something crazy. I saw it in the theater.
Oh wow,
That's how old I am.
That was one of my favorite movies when I was younger. It had a young Jessica Alba. Oh, so pretty.
I like the horror movies that take like a human experience and make them horror, like It Follows or Smile, that like, or Babadook. That's what I like.
Oh, I
like those
love
movies.
Babadook.
Yes, where they say real life is horrific and let us show you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I enjoy
It
about
follows.
Babadook.
Yeah, It Follows rules. That movie is spooky.
Yeah, they said, how do you make STDs terrifying?
Wait, Babadook? That's what Babadook's
It
about?
follows.
Oh.
No, Babadook is not about STDs
No.
as much as you'd think.
No, it's about this white family who has this fear of this black figure that's in their house. It's about racism.
I thought that was supposed to
It is not.
represent.
It is not about
No,
that at all.
It's not about that.
It's not.
It's not.
It would have been if I wrote it.
It's about grief.
Yeah.
About grief.
That's what. Yeah, I was
That
like, I thought that
character
was for
also has a
depression.
hat.
And that character has a
Does
famous
have a
hat.
scary
Yeah.
hat. That's somehow I don't know. I like the Babadook's hat more. That looks like the Sorting Hat's sketchy cousin, like you said. Like if you got like that hat corners you at a wedding. I don't like
Ooh,
it.
it remind. Do you remember? This is such a weird reference. Christopher Lloyd's character in Dennis the Menace.
Yes.
It reminds
Dun,
me.
dun,
of
Remember when he
that.
eats that apple? The way he
Uh-huh.
ate
He
that
cuts it
apple?
with the
That was so
knife.
scary.
Yes, he
He was
was
so scary.
horrifying. I
Yeah.
absolutely thought he was gonna die in that movie.
Yeah, I said this little boy's finna be murdered.
Yes.
Remember when in that movie Walter Matthau eats a paint steak
Yes.
and he never even goes to the hospital?
In that
Hey.
same scene, he's hit in the head with a fiery charcoal.
He
Gets
absolutely
fucked up in that movie.
They would have charged Dennis as an adult by the end of that movie in real life.
That old man should have died.
He-
Should
yes,
have passed
he-
away.
The Platonic love triangle at the center of the blackening.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a gay guy, straight woman, best friend, straight college ex-boyfriend versus like why doing it like that instead of like a romantic entanglement?
Because I think often people place romantic relationships above platonic relationships. And as a gay person who has had a lot of friends, I feel often the gay best friend role is substituted for the attention that some people cannot get from a romantic partner. And I wanted to bring attention to the fact that, like, don't do that. Like, don't waste somebody's time. That time and energy given to you platonically should be just as worth as the energy given to you romantically. And so I wanted to expand the gay best friend trope and really speak to that in reference to like how gay best friends are often used in films.
Do you think it's also how they're used in life sometimes too, though?
Huh?
Are they used in life that way too?
Yeah. Yeah. Like that was like very true to me. just in terms of like, don't waste my time. Like if you're using me and my energy to like satiate this thing, you're like, oh, I'm sad, this person screwed me over, and then you go back to them. Don't come back to me, because then why would you waste my time? And I felt like that was kind of the relationship I really wanted to shine light on. Yeah.
Nice. I've been a gay best friend before.
Did you enjoy it?
I'm still doing it.
Are you enjoying it?
I don't know. Katrina, an object that tore through the roof of a Naples, Florida home might be garbage from the International Space Station plummeting to Earth. Imagine that flew through the roof of your house and landed in your basement. That's what is that what it's like in Florida?
It's pretty sick. I don't. Is that a Florida reaction to be like awesome? No, I was just thinking about there's an old picture of a grouchy woman that got hit with a meteor. Does everyone know what I'm talking about? She was like leaning on her couch and a meteor came through, but it's like in the 20s and it's just like a hardy woman with a meteorite in her hand just being like, this thing hit me in the belly. So, I mean, it could have been worse. That could have killed somebody. It just like went through the ceiling, then the floor. Because what is it? They don't know? It doesn't have a serial
figure
number
out the like context of like the size. Like it just, I don't know what it is. It's just like a big piece of concrete.
Don't either. Yeah. Like, were they missing? Were they looking for that? And they were like, oh, great. Or were they like, ooh, we don't know where this came from?
Because, like, how would they know it was, like, from a satellite and not just, like, from somewhere else?
There's too much garbage.
It's sort of like, they're like, hey, International Space Station, this is Cape Canaveral. A big piece of something just fell through a roof in Florida. Is it possible that it's this piece of your battery? And they're like, no, I just saw, oh, shit. It was right. I left it right here in outer space.
No. Just checking screens.
Yeah.
I got renter's insurance for the first time recently, and I don't think this would be covered.
That's an interesting question, though, right? Like, it's not, what would it be covered under, right? Because it's not like, it's like, it's not an act of God. It's from people, but it's not a flood.
No.
It's not wind damage. It's not storm damage. It's not fire. It's just an object. It's a human-made object. I guess you'd have to really kind of like, hey, NASA, this is a huge problem for me personally and a rounding error for you because we know how well you do things. They take 30 years. It costs billions of dollars. You're going to have to send me a check for like $5,000 to fix the roof, the floor, the floor below the floor. It's going to be more than $5,000.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of different layers of holes.
I was going to say, I would aim a lot higher than $5,000.
Yeah, it went through a roof.
Yeah, let's go higher. We got to do emotional damage too.
They should just do a special episode of an HGTV show where NASA gets to do a
the
cameo,
one with Lil Jon,
and they fix the hole that they made and get rid of that linoleum.
Houston, we have a queer guy for the straight guy.
Episode coming your way. No, I mean,
have you seen Lil Jon's HGTV show?
No.
Yeah, it's called Lil Jon's Takeover. He come over people's house and take their shit over. It's great. It's a good time.
And they never get it back.
It is a good time.
Does he?
He declares squatters' rights and lives there in perpetuity.
It's so wholesome, and I don't think that people know that like Lil Jon just be going around fixing houses.
It's like everybody watches it for a twist, and he's like,
no, I just really love interior design.
I did not know that. Yeah. I thought he was gonna like pit my ride it. Like the house.
No, it's just him
it's
and
just
like
regular.
12
other picking out sconces
like,
and stuff.
Yo, I love this.
I need to know what Lil Jon thinks about crowd molding.
It's just like, look at this. We should add a wall here. Take that wall down. Put a slide in the kids' room. It's lovely.
Whenever they stage the dining room, everyone gets giant goblets.
Truly, I think there's a crossover for this. NASA hit up Lil Jon.
I like that.
I'm on board.
I like that. I'm trying to name that show the space version. You know, Little Johnson's Kennedy Space Center. All right. Well, I didn't do a good job. Dewayne, Katrina, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.